Hey there. So, using the right tools is so essential to saving you time, making your business easier to run and run more smoothly, and actually making it even more fun. So, today I want to talk about the 6 social media tools that I cannot live without.
Welcome to the Course Creators HQ podcast, helping you navigate the latest techniques for creating and marketing online courses. And now, here is your host, Julie Hood.
So today's episode is episode number 73 of the podcast, and I'm going to be sharing lots of tools and links for you. So be sure to go to coursecreatorshq.com/73 so that you can get all of the links to everything that we're talking about today. And it's actually going to be a short and sweet episode, but it might just be one of those that changes your business for the better. And why is that? Because just one well-placed, well-timed social media post can get you in front of exactly the right person or exactly the right students just when you need it and just when they need you. So let's get into my favorite tools for social media. The first tool I'm going to mention is Missing Letter. And here's why I love it. Missing Letter lets me take a episode of my podcast, and in about 10 or 15 minutes, I can create a year's worth of posts with images, and every single one of them is unique and it schedules them out over the next 365 days. So very few tools I know that can do that so well for me. And let me try to sort of explain how it works, but you actually need to go watch to just kind of get the concept. But what it does is you provide the link to the page or the post that you want to share. And then Missing Letter goes through and it pulls out sentences on that page that it thinks are top or relevant content. And then it gives you a list of hashtags. So you start with figuring out, okay, what are the hashtags that I want to use on this post? Then it gives you a section where you can upload and find images from Unsplash or find GIFs from Jiffy that you want to attach to your posts. And then you get to customize the sentences that it has come across. So you can use them as they come through, or you can create your own and add it. And the goal is to come up with 9 different comments. And then you say create the campaign, and it goes through and it combines all of those things into 9 different posts for you that are spread out throughout the year. So day 0, day 3, day 7, day 30, day 180, day 270, and day 365. And there's probably a couple more in there because I didn't have 9 posts by the time I was done. So, and then you just say run it, and it posts all of these out to your social media. So I love the fact that I can do that so quickly, and I get promotion of my podcast episodes for the next year. So that's why I love Missing Letter. The link is in the show notes, but I'll give it to you here. It's coursecreatorshq.com/missing letter without the last E on letter. So it's /missing LETTR, and then it'll be in the show notes. Okay, the next tool I want to talk about is called Snappa, and probably you haven't even heard of this one before. I use Snappa with my assistant to create all of my social media graphics. Now, I know a lot of people use Canva, and this is a similar tool. If you love Canva, stick with Canva. What I love about Snappa is a couple different features. Number one is the resize feature. So if we create an image, let's say for Instagram, and we want to resize it so we can use it on Twitter, it's really simple to just click the resize button, resize it easily, and then we move a little bit of things around and we get the resized version of the image that easily. It also has some great team features that let you define your colors and create a team folder of images that you upload. So it's been really, really useful for us to use. If you like Canva, go for it. I just didn't like the interface of Canva when I was trying to work with it. And I realized that the pricing for setting it up with my team was going to be the same if I used Snappa. So that link is in the show notes. They do have a yearly annual fee. So just so to give you a heads up, it's the same, I think, as Canva's, like $15 a month. It's pretty compatible to that, but you pay it once a year. All right, my third tool to share with you is Social Bee. And that's like a beehive, that makes honey, Social Bee. And what I love about this tool is it lets you create buckets of content that it runs through and posts on the schedule that you want. So let's say on Twitter, every day I want to post a positive motivational quote. So I have a list of all of these quotes in Social Bee, and it goes down them and posts one at the schedule that I set. And then it goes back to the top of the list and start posting again. So it's a great way to have continuous content, to have continuous posts going out on your social media that you just set up once and it keeps running. So that's my favorite piece of the puzzle for Social Bee. And there's some other tools that do something similar, that there's some social media tools out there that will run in a similar way where you have buckets of content. I think Social Q is one, and I believe Meet Edgar also does something similar. So those are if you want to check out some of the other tools, but I use Social Bee. Next up is Tailwind, and we just started using this with Pinterest, so I'll let you know how it goes. I wanted to get some pins out onto Pinterest, so I set it up with my assistant so that she can go in and she can actually post images directly into Tailwind that will then show up on Pinterest. So I've been happy with it so far. We just started using it, but it is one of the best ways, I think, to actually use Pinterest. It also has some features to help you connect with other boards and other people who are on Pinterest in your same topic area. So to be continued on that one. The fifth tool I want to share is not really a social media tool per se, but it's really essential for knowing what's working. And that's my Pretty Links tracking tool. So I like to create unique links for different social accounts so I can sort of get a feeling for what's working, what's getting clicked on, what people are most interested in. And so I did another episode on tracking. That's episode 55. So I'll put that in the show notes too, so you can go back and get some more details. But having a way to track your links is essential. And so whatever you use, make sure you do that so you can see where are people clicking, what's most popular, what are they using the most often. And then the sixth tool I want to share with you is not just for social media, but it works really, really well for communicating with my team. And so it makes the whole process of doing the social media pieces so much easier. So right now we're using Trello, and here's why I love it. The first thing is you create cards for each of the projects or topics that you're working on. And then all of the information and the comments and the attachments and the files, they all get attached to that card. So as we make updates and comments between each other, the team members that are on the card get emails about it too. So they can get the most current info about what's going on, or if there's a question that needs to be answered. It all comes through Trello and then comes to my email or to my assistant's email. It also has a really fantastic search bar, and this has come in handy as we have used the tool over a couple different years now. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I know I had somebody work on that last year. I wonder where those files are. So I use the search bar and I go up and I find the card, and you can even search across different boards, so I can find cards all over the place that are related to the topic that I'm looking for. And then the third thing is that you can get started for free with this tool. So in fact, I'm still using the free version after a couple years of using it to stay organized. So it's a great, easy, free way to get started on having an organized place to communicate with your staff. So in the future, I'll probably do a more detailed episode about exactly how we're using Trello, but I wanted to just give you those 6 to kind of percolate in your brain a little bit and to see what are some of the things that you could be doing with your social media that maybe you haven't tried yet. You know that quote about if you want different results, you have to try different things. So try some of these things, see if they're getting good results for you. And then I'll end with one quick little bonus tip for you. Most of these tools I actually purchased through an app called AppSumo, and it's a website also. And what they do is AppSumo will pull in experts and software tools and offer some really amazing specials so that you get lifetime accounts for some of these tools. And so, for example, both SocialBee and Missing Letter were tools that I came across through AppSumo, and I now have lifetime accounts for them. And the great thing is the pricing is usually fantastic for these lifetime accounts. Now, they just run specials every so often, so you kind of have to stumble across them as they come up. You probably want to get on the AppSumo email list so that you find out about the tools that are on there when they first launch. And I remember thinking, why would these companies on AppSumo put their tools on here and just do a one-time purchase when they're normally doing monthly fees? Why would they do this? And so it made me very skeptical of how good they are. Well, the reason they do this a lot of times is they either want to get a massive launch message out, so they want to get in front of a lot of people because AppSumo has a lot of subscribers, or they're looking for a cash infusion for their company so they can get a bunch of people to sign up all at once. So the lifetime deals generally are very good lifetime deals, but I will say you need to be prepared. Sometimes the tools don't last long term. I haven't had that happen a lot, but it is a possibility. If these software businesses can't then convert over to a long-term business model, they won't be able to survive. So this is sort of a shot in the arm for some of these businesses. And as long as you know that and you're prepared for the fact that, hey, they may not make it long-term, but that's okay. I'm going to take a risk for this one-time $59 fee. So I hope that gives you some food for thought as you are planning your next steps on social media. It gives you some ideas of where you could play and tools you could use. So I would love to have you come join us on Good Pods, the app, to discuss this. I want to hear what tools you're using, which tools you like, which ones you don't like. I'm always on the hunt for ways to make life easier. So I'll put the link in the show notes. Good Pods is an app for your phone where you can not only listen to podcasts, but you can actually make comments and interact with other people who are also listening to the podcast. And we have Course Creators HQ on there so we can chat and talk about this episode. So come join us, CourseCreatorsHQ.com/goodpods. And thanks so much for listening. Hey, I so appreciate the fact that you give me space in your podcast app every week. It is one of my favorite things to do, and I hope it's helpful for you. I hope this has given you some inspiration, some ideas, some new things to try. So thanks for listening. Thank you for subscribing. If you're on Apple Podcasts, thank you for following at those 3 little dots up at the top right. And thanks for reviewing. If you got something helpful for today, I really appreciate a 5-star review for the podcast. It really does help us get out in front of more and more creators and course creators out there. So you're the best. Have a fantastic week. I hope this was helpful for you, and we will catch you on the next episode next week. Take care.